Hey there, science fans! Did you know that the Earth is bathed in an incredible amount of energy from the sun? It's true. Every single day our planet receives enough solar energy to power everything on Earth for many, many years. Think about that for a second. That's a whole lot of power coming from that big, bright star in the sky. Now, you might be wondering, if we have all this free energy raining down on us, why aren't we using it more? Well, that's a great question. And it leads us to the amazing world of solar panels. These clever inventions are like little power plants that can turn sunlight directly into electricity. Pretty cool, right? So how do these solar panels actually work? Let's dive in and find out. Solar panels are made up of smaller units called solar cells, usually made from silicon. Silicon is a very special material because it can transform sunlight into electricity. Imagine tiny particles of light called photons traveling all the way from the sun and colliding with the silicon atoms in a solar panel. When a photon hits the silicon, it knocks loose an electron. Now these electrons are full of energy and ready to move. To make sure they move in the right direction, we create something called an electric field inside the solar cell. We do this by creating two different types of silicon, N-type and P-type. The N-type has extra electrons, while the P-type has spaces for electrons called holes. When we put these two types together, it's like connecting a battery. The electrons flow from the N-type to the P-type, creating an electrical current. And voila, we have electricity. Now, you might be thinking, if solar panels are so great, why don't we use them for everything? Well, it's not quite that simple. One of the challenges is efficiency. Right now, most solar panels are about 15 to 20% efficient. That means they can only turn about 15 to 20% of the sunlight that hits them into electricity. The good news is that scientists and engineers are constantly working on making solar panels more efficient. In fact, some of the newest solar panels can reach efficiencies of over 40%. That means we can generate even more clean energy from the same amount of sunlight. While we still have some work to do to make solar panels even more efficient, the progress we've made is pretty amazing. But efficiency isn't the only hurdle we need to overcome. Let's look at some other challenges of relying solely on solar energy. One of the biggest challenges with solar power is that the amount of sunlight we get varies a lot. It changes depending on the weather, the time of day, and even where you are on the planet. Cloudy days mean less sunlight, and nighttime means no sunlight at all. So, if we want to rely on solar energy, we need to find ways to store it for when the sun isn't shining. Batteries are one option, but we need bigger and better batteries to store large amounts of energy. We also need to find efficient ways to move solar energy from places with lots of sunshine to places with less. But wait, there's more. We also need a lot of space to install all these solar panels. And let's not forget about the economic and political challenges. Some people worry about the cost of switching to solar, and some existing energy industries might not be too happy about the competition. It's a complex issue with many factors to consider. Despite these challenges, the future of solar energy is bright. Scientists and engineers are constantly working on new technologies to make solar panels even better, cheaper, and more efficient. We're also exploring new ways to store solar energy and transport it over long distances. One exciting development is the idea of floating solar farms. Imagine massive solar panels floating on lakes, reservoirs, or even the ocean. This would allow us to generate clean energy without using up valuable land space. But perhaps the most inspiring aspect of solar energy is its potential to bring power to people who need it most. In many parts of the world, people live without access to reliable electricity. Solar panels offer a clean, affordable, and sustainable solution, bringing light, education, and economic opportunities to communities around the globe. So keep your eyes on the sky and remember the incredible power of the sun.